would we be without The Legend of Zelda? Ever since 1987, the fantasy world of Hyrule has become a staple in gaming, and we will forever know it as the pinnacle of exploration. But I'm pretty sure you don't want to hear me ramble about such trivial things, so I'll get to the point. Top 10 Legend of Zelda games. This was a tough because anything with both Zelda and Nintendo on it is going to be damn good.
Well, duh.
Only one rule for this list. The following entries can only be made by the big N.
Oh boy! I'm so hungry, Fuck you!
Alright, let's begin. Starting off this list is Twilight Princess. This game was released in 2007 for both the Nintendo GameCube and Wii. I don't see how this installment fits anywhere in the timeline. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna... Well, anyway, this is a pretty good addition to the series. It has some impressive graphics for 2007. The gameplay is fluent, but it feels like a complete Ocarina of Time rehash. But that's not to say it's a bad thing. Next, we have The Adventure of Link. This game is often considered to be the black sheep of the Zelda franchise. Released for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1988, this was the first and only side-scrolling Zelda game that Nintendo had made. This one's a classic in my eyes, but it's only number 9 because of its insane difficulty. I actually once stated that this was the hardest game I had ever played. But that's changed, and you will see what surpasses it on another list. Great game, let's continue. At number 8, we have Link's Awakening. This game was the first portable Zelda game, as it made its release on the Game Boy at the very end of the 8-bit era. There's not much that can be said about the gist of the game. It's just great. A wholesome overworld exploration, so it's very easy to pick up and play, but very hard to put down. One of the greatest titles of Nintendo's 16-bit powerhouse was A Link to the Past. Being the first Zelda game I had ever played, I had to put it on the list. I had tons of fun with it back then, and I had tons of fun with it today. It's also cool to know that this was the debut of the hookshot and empty bottles, some of the most useful items in video game history. Now, I know that you could buy medicine in the original Zelda, but now you can actually keep the bottle and put anything you want in it. Speaking of the original, now really, what can I say about the original Legend of Zelda? It's worth its weight in platinum. It captured our imaginations and emotionally bonded us to adventure games. For decades, or maybe even centuries to come, this classic still holds up today as being one of the most innovative video games ever created. If you're a video game fanatic, you absolutely have to have this game in your library. Why? Because it started a legacy and is the definition of classic. Moving over to the Game Boy Advance, we have the Minish Cap. This is probably one of the more underrated games in the series.
And is mostly believed to take place at the beginning of the timeline. That's right, another fucking prequel. What the fuck?
But I'm not even going to get into that whole timeline thing. All I can say about this one is that it leaves you with a satisfying experience. So I recommend you picking up a copy. I don't think I have to explain Ocarina of Time to any of you. This Zelda game is highly known as the so-called best game ever. Well, I, like Mr. Rokon in The Fiery Joker, find this game a bit overrated. It is not the best Zelda game ever, nor is it the best video game of all time. As a game of its own, I have to say I enjoyed playing it. It has great music, a great final boss, but it leaves you wanting something more. The most recent portable Zelda game, Spirit Tracks, was loads better than its predecessor, the Phantom Hourglass. When I first saw the E3 2008 trailer for this game, I thought it would be pretty damn stupid. Trains? What's next? Planes? But now that I've played it, I gotta admit, I was missing out. This just felt like an original concept. This game also taught us a valuable lesson. If you ever see a guy wearing two hats, run! Majora's Mask is the perfect sequel to Ocarina of Time. It's without doubt the most twisted of the entire franchise. It has a great soundtrack. It ties together with Ocarina of Time. It has a new villain, extremely challenging, dozens of side quests, and it's just great. But the question is, what could be better? Warning, do not watch this if you hate beautiful music. Well, this is it. The best Zelda game ever made is The Wind Waker. This may be the third greatest game I have ever played. The graphics are incredibly beautiful, the soundtrack is amazing, the characters are very well developed, and I am emotionally tied to this game. It easily jumps into a top 10 list of the best games ever made. If you're a Zelda fan, join me and congratulate the best Zelda game ever made, Wind Waker.